Welcome again back to St Mary's podcast. Today we have one of the main men in the building. It's Louis Moore, who's our accountant, and he looks after all the wages and everything. Good morning, Louis. How are you?
Good morning, John, and thanks for inviting me.
No, thanks very much for doing the podcast. We've been off for a couple of weeks and everyone's on holidays, so it's just getting back to it now. So, Louis, you started with us a couple of months back, and what do you think of the place?
Absolutely loving the place so far. Great crowd, great crew here, atmosphere, everything is wonderful, and of course the opportunity to get back into further education. All very good. Very positive.
That's great, Louis.
Absolutely lovely.
It's great to have you here. You feel really fitted in now as well with everyone.
Please,
You have, and and fair play to you for doing the podcast today. You have a very checkered career, Louis.
I don't know if checkered is the right word, but it's certainly very varied.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I retired. I was out in Australia for 23 years. I spent 8 years in Sydney and 14 years in Perth. Largely working with fairly big companies in the offices there, doing accounts, bookkeeping, that type of thing. And prior to that, I had actually worked here in Ireland. I had a small pub just out the road in Scariff.
Oh.
So from publican to accounting and background, so the journey's come full circle now.
Well, fair play to you. It was hard leaving Ireland at the time.
That was 95. It was particularly hard because it was the day after Clare won the first All-Ireland in over 90 years. So
you missed all the celebrations.
So I virtually
missed all the celebrations. But fair play to you. It was a big decision to take.
It was a big decision. I was 35 years of age when I was moving out, but my wife and I got the opportunity, and it was marvellous. Never looked back, and it's as though the wheel has come full circle.
It's amazing,
to be back in the area, in the region, and indeed in St Mary's.
Oh, fair play, Joe. And it's great, as I said, it's great to have you here. What kind of interests do you have or hobbies, Louis?
Well, quite late on in life, I took up playing a little bit of guitar. So I love music of all sorts. From the pub trade, of course, we used to have a lot of traditional music, a lot of musicians and that from Limerick and so on. So that was all good. So that musical background has been there for years and years.
Well, there's a lot of music in Clare as well. You go anywhere out in Clare, there's usually a Cayley band or something playing on a Saturday night.
That's right.
Yeah.
East Clare.
Yeah.
Seamus and Martin, and indeed here in Limerick, the Duns, Mickey and Christy.
That's right.
So we had a lot of friends in around Limerick and East Clare that were involved in the traditional music scene.
We used to have one of the Duns here before, Brendan. I think I'm watching him say he played accordion and I think it was piano. He was here for a while, Brendan.
I think he might have been.
He's one of them.
One of the younger.
Yeah, one of the younger guys. Yeah. He played for a while. But no, that's great. You went into sports or anything like that, or?
I'm not so much into sports, as you can tell. I'm not.
Same as myself.
Not particularly fit or overly involved in the sport. I like walking and swimming. More genteel.
More genteel. So, well, of course, living in Australia as well, it's all outdoor really there, and it's that kind of thing goes on.
It's a very outdoorsy type of country. Yeah. I didn't embrace that side of it too much. I wasn't a huge beach person, and certainly with the fair skin.
The fair skin,
wasn't one for spending too much time out in the sun.
Out in the sun,
But certainly Australia is a very outdoorsy place. Loads of barbecues and
everything.
Great country, wonderful country.
Yeah.
But like the other side of a coin, coming back to Ireland is equally as good, if not better.
Well,
and just marvellous, loving being back as much as I might miss Australia.
I know.
Loving being back with my own kind.
I think there's always one thing you want to do. Is my father was the same. We lived in England for years now, and he always put that draw to come home again was the big thing, to come back home.
Well, my wife and I had made up our minds about 10 years back, actually, that we were going to retire back to Ireland. Now, as it happened, I changed jobs at that time and was working as the accountant with a firm out there, and so that extended my stay maybe 10 years longer than I had originally intended.
Yeah.
But it was all good, and so
fair play, Joe. And you moved, I think, it's back to Killaloe.
We're living in Killaloe at the moment.
Beautiful part of the country, though.
And it's lovely. I was born in Killaloe and reared there, so it's home from home.
Come home again.
And to be here at St Mary's is marvellous because all of those times in years gone by when we would have come through the parish of St Mary's without realising it, or called the Treaty Cafe after the dances, or had tea in
yeah,
St Mary's Park with friends and acquaintances. Like Limerick would be our home city
yeah, yeah.
from Killaloe.
From Killaloe, yeah,
So yeah,
just
so it's marvelous to be back in the area and
well, it's great to have you
to
back
fit
as well.
in so quickly and to have been made so welcome.
But you can fit it anywhere, Louis. You're that type of bloke, you know. You're very easy to get on with, and it's
Uh,
not through experience now over knowing you the last couple of months and things like
Appreciate that,
that, you
Johnny.
know.
Appreciate that.
And like as I said, thanks for doing the podcast as well today. No, it's just looking forward to maybe sometime we'll do a longer podcast down the line when we have a bit more time. But it's great it's great to have got to talk to you.
That'd be lovely. And again, thanks very much for inviting me.
No problem, Louis. And thanks very much for doing the podcast.
Thank you
Thanks very
very
much,
much.
Louis. Bye, bye, bye.